Okay, so my path to becoming an educational leader, actually, it started, I would say, my first year of teaching. I was really struggling in the classroom, as I think all first-year teachers do. But I was getting really, really frustrated and kind of disheartened. And I met with my assistant principal at the time. And she actually said, you know, your frustration's a good thing. I know you don't want to feel it, but it means that you care. And then she said, you know, no matter your good days, your bad days, whatever they are, just remember that every day you're positively impacting the life trajectories of the students in your classroom. And that's kind of a principle that's stuck with me. And I loved how I was able to, you know, impact that change within my own classroom. But again, it's only, you know, 30 students at a time. And I think at that, you know, during that time, I started to think, you know, I wonder if I can broaden my impact. So that was like kind of the first seed, but I think it really started to grow when I became a math coach and got to work with teachers and support teachers and see that, you know, by us collaborating together to address the issues that were going on in their classrooms, the things that they were struggling with, I could, through them, improve life trajectories of their students. And that's when it really crystallized. You know, those two experiences are really what pushed me to want to become an educational leader.
I chose to become an educational leader because I believe I can make a larger impact. When I was a teacher, I had many experiences and provided opportunities to grow professionally. And using that is what ultimately led me to becoming a school leader.
I chose to become an educational leader because I wanted to make a greater impact. At the time when I was working actually at a charter school, and it was a small school, and we were doing, you know, a lot with the students in the community, trying to get our students to move. And I had other peers who were going to school for leadership, and I had not made that leap yet. And I said, you know what? I think I could do this too. I'm already on different committees. I'm helping outside of the school. We're taking kids on trips outside. So in order to make a greater impact beyond the classroom, I decided to go into leadership. And once I got my degree, I decided that I wanted to go back to the district that made me who I was. I'm a homegrown girl as far as Miami-Dade County is concerned. And I wanted to make sure that I brought the talent, I took my talents, as they say, back to Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
So I chose to become an educational leader because as a teacher at the elementary level, I had the opportunity to work with and learn what the needs of kids were, the struggles that they had inside of a school site that you don't know about. I wasn't an education major. I jumped into this field and I learned very quickly that these kids are in need of people who are there for them, people who are on their side, and not just teachers, but people who have their back and will encourage them to be better every single day. And so I started as a teacher, and I found my way to extend the impact I had by becoming a math coach at a school site, becoming a curriculum support specialist, where now I saw that I could have a larger impact with a larger group of students, more and more students. And so the goal, as I continue to lead and go upon this journey, is to have the largest impact I can have.
What defines me being an AP is I want to make sure that I'm authentic, true to myself, and knowing that my title doesn't change who I am. And I want to be relatable, and I want to make those connections with our students, our staff, teachers, parents, community. So I always want to just be authentic and true to myself and who I am.
What defines for me the role of an assistant principal is somebody that is going to work relentlessly, knowing that they may never fully reach the goal that they set for themselves. I think, you know, there are so many aspects to this job that require continuous investment, just investment of time, of energy, blood, sweat, and tears. And you don't always see immediately the results of all of that labor. And it's having faith that ultimately, you know, there will be a positive outcome from the things that you are doing. All of us that are in education are humanitarians. Like I genuinely believe that. We are invested in human beings. We are invested in repairing the world.
I know my students, I know the community, and I use that in order to make me a better leader. I make it my business to get to know my students. I have an open door policy. I know people say that a lot, open door policy, but mine is literally open and you can come in. The sweetest thing that someone can say for you, if I knew their name, then that meant that I was invested. And that was my first start. So I do try to go and learn as many names of the students as I can. And sometimes, you know, with 1,400 kids, you know, it's a bit much, but sometimes they'll come up to me and say, or if I call their name, you know my name? Yes, I remembered your name. Or if the other students here, they'll say, oh, she know your name, ooh. I say, he's not in trouble. She's not in trouble. I just know her name. What's your name? So I can learn your name too. It's really important to make that connection. And that's what I take pride in.
I have a very calm demeanor. I listen. I think that is very important. And listening to people helps me understand them and be able to communicate well with everybody. So having that calm demeanor, not getting too high, too low, helps me do my job as an assistant principal and makes me successful as an assistant principal.
I'm a good listener. It's something that I know. That's one of my traits that translates well. I'm a good listener. I listen to my staff. I'm there for them. They know that if they're having a rough day, if a kid is having a rough day, they know that not just that I have an open door policy, but that I'm really going to take the time to stop what I'm doing, listen to them, and see what I can do to assist. I may not have all the answers. I may not even be able to find the answer that they're looking for or that they need, but I am willing to. They know that I'm willing to take the time out for them. And I think when you show a genuine care, a genuine concern for your students, for your staff, that is what hopefully has drawn them to me. And they understand that there's a genuine mutual respect and a genuine care for their well-being. And I think that goes a long way.
I'm trying to think through, like, when you say, like, about the role of the assistant principal and the qualities and all of that. I think one of the greatest things about this job is that there are so many different types of people that can be successful as a school administrator. Like, we all have, like, I don't know if you know the spider web, the diagram, but we all have strengths in various areas, and we all have weaknesses in various areas. And yet, as long as, like, we unite through a common vision, a common just drive that we want to improve society, we want to improve the lives of children, and like that, by having that common vision, you know, there are just so many different types of people that can be successful at this job and fall in love with it as well.
The qualities that students, teachers, the community look for an assistant principal is to be able to listen and to be an open line of communication. If you don't listen to your people, you will not be a very successful leader. And I think you need to have that to be able to work with everyone. And that's what makes an assistant principal successful.
Definitely dedicated. Resilient. I would say resiliency is my biggest trait. That has helped me out a lot. You know, as educators, you know, as leaders, it's not always easy in this job that we do. And sometimes it may look easy, but that's because we make it look easy. And people don't always know what you're dealing with, whether it's in your family or in your job. But because of my understanding that every day, I have a saying that I say, life is a blank canvas. What picture will you paint today? So every day is a fresh start for me. And 2 years ago, I adopted this mantra, which is gratitude is my superpower. And as long as I have something to be grateful for, then everything is okay. So my ability to be resilient, to have tough days, and then pick up, put on my shoes, put on my suit or pants or what have you, and go out the door and say, it's gonna be a great day today, and to start over.
You've done such good stuff at South Dade. Like, it's amazing. And the recognition is nice too. Honestly, like, don't hate it. I don't hate it. Listen, I love my job. Like, so much.